phenomenal success as a psychic medical diagnostician. Known as the sleeping prophet because his visions came to him in a sleep-like trance, Casey, without any medical training and with no formal education, could diagnose and prescribe cures for illnesses of all kinds. He did this without ever having seen his patients. He discovered his rare gift when he found the cure for his own voice paralysis during a self-induced hypnosis. He later prescribed successful cures for his son's eye disease and his wife's tuberculosis. Today, his son, Hugh Lynn Casey, administers the Edgar Casey Foundation. He tells us about his father.
Edgar Casey was always in conflict with what he was doing. He didn't understand it in the beginning. He was troubled over the possibility that some of the information he was giving for people who sought him out would hurt them in some way. And not until the readings began to provide help for him, for his wife, and for me, when I burned my eyes severely, did he begin to devote all of his time to it and commit himself to actually giving readings whenever people asked him. He was a photographer by trade and didn't do this for money. He was seeking to help people. He said, very simply, as long as people ask me, I will try. If ever one of these hurts anyone, I'll never do another one. And I think he lived by that all of his life.
Each day for 43 years, Edgar Casey, a fifth-grade dropout, would stop his gardening or come in from his fishing to do his readings. The names and addresses of his patients and their problems were unknown to him and would remain unknown to him until he placed himself into his sleep-like trance.
The name of today's subject is Miriam Roper. And at this moment, she is at 2745 Ashland Avenue, Vero Beach, Florida.
In his trance, Casey would locate the patient, often thousands of miles away, and diagnose the illness.
Yes. We see her. We do not know her. We have never seen her before.
He attributed his unparalleled powers to an eternal light that he encountered while in his trance-like state.
We find that this body is not very good, not correct in every respect. We find...
In some cases, the sleeping prophet mentioned medicines unknown to modern science. Research would later show such medicines to have been ancient cures, long forgotten.
Metabolism. In the cerebrospinal system, you find there is something wrong with the...
He believed that the center of the body was its nervous system and sought to treat that, often with home-style folk cures.
To 16 ounces of water, add 1 ounce of dried wild ginseng root.
He believed in healing the whole person, body, mind, and soul.
And in 36 to 40...
When Casey awoke, he remembered nothing of what had transpired during the trance.
Have a body
would not have understood it if he were told it.
Ready for question.
The stenographic account was then mailed to the patient, and according to the records, in over 14,000 cases, the diagnosis and treatments were always correct. So it was with Miriam Roper. Though singular because of his range and character, Edgar Casey was not the only person to heal through the wonders of psychic powers. The late Catherine Kuhlman was one such healer. Faith healers like Catherine Kuhlman are, by definition, psychic.
Move it up and down. Put it up now. Swing that arm now just as hard as you can. Give her a great big...
Parapsychologists say that they help the patients impose their own minds over their bodies. During a recent week-long meeting in Jerusalem, one woman tells how Catherine Kuhlman mobilized her psychic energies to effect the cure.
But when she pointed up in the balcony for me, Jesus healed me in a moment. And
now what?
No pain. I'm completely healed.
And that was 2 days ago.
2 days ago, yes.
Still with no pain.
No pain.
Whatsoever.
No pain. Praise the Lord.
Olga Warhol is another prominent faith healer. Her laying on of the hands has caused many of the men and women who flock to her to walk away whole once again. To determine if there really is a healing energy flowing from Olga's hands, Sister N. Justice Smith, one of the nation's leading biochemists, has set up an experiment in her labs at Rosary Hill College in Buffalo, New York. Sister Smith hopes to determine if enzymes, the proteins which trigger chemical reactions within the human body, will be affected when held by Olga Warhol. The results of the experiment show that the activity of the enzymes increases substantially when held by Olga Warhol. They react in the same way as they do when subjected to a high magnetic field.
There really is nothing supernatural, nor mysterious, nor occult about paranormal healing. It can be tested and measured and demonstrated in a scientific laboratory.
Now, you see, when there's greater tension, of course...
Because of the progress being made through the study of psychic healing, a new science of consciousness is being introduced to help people help themselves. Called biofeedback, it teaches the patient to control or even alter his bodily processes to fight off illness.
Less tension.
Yes. Any question?
Modern medicine is being forced to re-examine its concepts of healing. Today, they are re-evaluating ancient psychic energy procedures such as acupuncture.
This point, which is called a governor vessel point, and it's located right in the middle. Sometimes it hurts just a little bit.
Based on the energy the Chinese call Chai, the procedure calls for the circuiting and recircuiting of the electrical impulses in our body. There is also something called psychic acupuncture.
Well, Ethel, it's diagnosed as some long name, but...
Ethel DeLoach of Florham Park, New Jersey, is treating a patient for arthritis.
It's very painful.
She exerts only psychic energy at the acupuncture points. She is doing what others do with needles, redirecting the electrical impulses that run through our body. With special equipment developed by the Russian electronics expert Semyon Kirlian, photographs were taken of the energy emanating from Ethel's fingertips. First when she was not healing, then while she was healing. There is a dramatic change. Bright reds and oranges indicate something is happening in Ethel's hands. Kirlian photographs are made by introducing a small amount of high-voltage, high-frequency current to the objects being photographed. All forms of life emit such discharges. They cannot be